good, everybody? It's your boy Everton. So today we're talking about Mint Mobile. I've been with the service for about a year and a half. It has been an absolutely interesting experience. Today we're going to talk about some changes and improvements that they made to the service. I'll also talk about some opportunities that exist and also some of my personal experience. Hopefully this will help you guys make a business decision or a purchase decision to see if Mint Mobile is something that you guys want to try out, if Mint Mobile is something that you want to stick with, or if you're like, nah, this ain't really for me. But let's go ahead and talk about that today. And FYI, there is a link to Mint Mobile in the description. If you guys do want to check out Mint Mobile, click on that link. It'll take you right there, show you their latest deals, and just show you a lot about the company. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. So what is Mint Mobile? Mint Mobile is a prepaid service that runs on T-Mobile's network. The unique thing about Mint Mobile is that they do sell plans in bulk. So you do have the opportunity to basically choose if you want to go with 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And the longer that you pay for the plan, or the larger the bulk plan is, if you go for 12 months, the cheaper the monthly rate breakdown becomes. Now the cool thing is though that if you do want to try Mint for the first time, they do give you an introductory period where you can buy 3 months, but you'll get it at the rate as if you bought it for 12 months. So it's pretty cool in that aspect. Now, when you do want to renew, you'll have to choose if you guys want to do another 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, and then you'll actually see like the actual monthly breakdown of what it will continue to be. Me personally, I did choose to re-up for 12 months. I felt that after that 3-month period was enough to tell me what I needed to know about the company. Absolutely loved it. So understanding the plans, at the baseline, every plan gives you unlimited talk and text. Now, you do have the option to choose which allotment of data that would best fit for you. Now, as you choose these, also there will be different pricing for the bulk plans as well. So you can also look at what works for your budget and maybe adjust your data usage accordingly. Cool thing about the plan is that for a majority of the plans that are out there for the tiers of data, you can utilize all of the data for hotspotting or tethering internet service to another device such as a laptop or a tablet, except for the unlimited plan. Now the unlimited plan is 35 gigabytes worth of high-speed data, but you can only hotspot about 5 gigabytes of data to another device, unlike the rest of them, the other plans that you can utilize the entire data allotment for strictly just data. Now Mint Mobile does have some perks that does come with the service, such as 5G is included. As long as you have a 5G enabled device, it'll run on T-Mobile's 5G network, which has a lot of capacity, which I'm very happy about. Now T-Mobile doesn't always have the most coverage, but where they do have coverage, then they do have a lot of capacity. Now, what that will mean for you as a user is that, well, if there's someone sitting right next to you using the same network, you won't be slowed down to a crawl. I'll give you an example about another carrier that doesn't run on T-Mobile. I won't call them out right now, but between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., I got really great speeds, but that's because everybody was asleep during that time or using home internet. But around 6 a.m., my internet would slow down to a crawl in the exact same place because, well, someone else started to use the service and it didn't have that much capacity. So the good thing is that with Mint Mobile, since it runs on T-Mobile network, it does have a lot of capacity for 5G. Another perk that exists is Wi-Fi calling and Wi-Fi texting. Now, this is actually important. A lot of people don't see the value in this, but where there isn't great service or isn't any service at all, like Alaska or Anchorage, Alaska, if you were to go to one of those areas where you don't have any coverage, a very rural area where there's limited coverage, you can actually, if there is Wi-Fi available, Mint Mobile does allow Wi-Fi calling, so you can still use your service, sort of like voice over IP, and make a phone call or text, and you can enable service that way. There is free calls to Canada and Mexico, so if you have any family members or friends in the neighboring countries, you can definitely take advantage of that. One pretty cool thing is that if you do have an Android device like I do, Mint Mobile does support RCS, which is Rich Communication Services. Now, RCS basically allows you to have more features with your texting. You can have longer or larger file media types, so you can send high quality photos without it being decompressed to another Android device that also supports RCS. You can have typing indicators, receipts. You just have a lot more options with RCS, and it is pretty awesome that they support it as well. Now, one of the biggest things I'm going to tell you guys about that is definitely a feature or a perk is that, well, Mint Mobile actually has a customer service number. Now, let me just let you know that one of the biggest things for me is being able to get a live person without having to fill out an online ticket and schedule a call. No, I like to be able to have a phone number to call someone and say, hey, what's going on with this issue, and have someone that can understand what I'm going through and potentially offer me a fix. That is a huge deal for me, and not a lot of companies actually offer that. So some of them, that's one of the cost-cutting measures that a lot of other companies utilize. Mint Mobile does not have that cost-cutting measure. You can call customer service and get a live person to assist you. I've had to call them. Some of my referrals codes disappeared, and I was able to call someone, and they just basically explained to them what happened. They created a ticket for me, and then my referrals were back there within a couple hours. So it was pretty cool. And speaking of referrals and the issue that I had with them disappearing, the referral program is an awesome perk. If you do tell someone, a family member, a friend, go on the internet and tweet about it, and someone uses your referral link, you can actually get credit towards your renewal plan. Now, basically what that means, and the breakdown is that you can actually refer up to 10 people and get a total of $480 within referrals. Now, basically, if you were to renew for the unlimited plan, which is your most expensive plan, 12 months, $480 is enough to cover the entire cost of that plan and have some rollover. And the reason that they do this is because, well, one of the most expensive things about, well, running a company such as a cellular company is marketing. But if they could get free marketing and, well, compensate you with renewal credits, that allows you to get a free cell phone plan potentially, or at least some of it discounted, and the company themselves will be able to save a lot of money. I believe on average, the major carriers, the conversion of a new client is about $600. So think about it as hey, we'll give you free service and you'll help us save some money on converting new clients. So let's talk about some of my personal experiences with the performance of the network. So I'm definitely gonna talk about the data speeds that are available to you. Data speeds are actually really, really, really good. Now I do have a 5G phone and I do get services speeds around like 200 to 300 Mbps down, and that's on average. Sometimes a little bit lower. They can get a little bit faster. In fact, the other day I was in front of my office and where I work, and I got about 671 Mbps down, which is amazing. Super fast speeds, and it's right next to buildings, right next to big buildings. So I'm very confident in the fast speeds that I'm able to get. I do consistently get very fast speeds though. The network performance for data is really, really good. Now for voice, everything works really, really well. I will tell you that sometimes I'll drive on the highway, and once in a while I will have, like, there's a very busy highway really close to me. It's terrible for traffic, but when I'm on the highway and I'm talking to someone on the phone, sometimes like there's a little area that I always have like some issue with like hearing them. So I always have to be like, hey, what did you just say? And by the time I drive past it, I mean, everything's back to normal. But for the most part, I just want to be transparent about that. But the service is really, really great. Data speeds are super, super fast. And once again, because T-Mobile has so much capacity with their 5G network, that you have really fast speeds. No matter if there's a lot of people next to you utilizing the service, you won't be slowed down to a crawl. Trust me, I have used another service, and the service speeds can get really, really low with other carriers. With Mint Mobile, awesome speeds. So I did mention that they did make some improvements or some changes that led to some improvements within their service. And if I told you this if someone told me this a year and a half ago without me actually experiencing this, I may have had a second thought about the service, but let me go ahead and tell you what's essentially going on here. So there are two changes that they did make, which are really big for me. Number one, the first change is that there used to be a 2.5-hour cutoff limit for phone calls. Now, this was a big no-no for me because of the fact that, dude, I paid for unlimited calls and texts, and I kind of understand why they do it, but let me just go ahead and talk about what it is. So basically, if you're on the phone call for 2.5 hours, your call would abruptly end. And it actually happened to me a couple times. There are certain people that I don't talk to often. So when I do talk to them, I do talk to them for a few hours on the phone. That's like right at 2.5 hours, it would cut off. That is no longer going on. It has gone on for a few months now. Your calls are able to, I've spoken to someone for like 5 hours on the phone one time, just catching up about old times. So that's no longer there. Another thing that they did change is there used to be a 10,000 minute reset. Now, essentially what that means is that even though you have unlimited minutes and things like that, if you did hit 10,000 minutes, the service would route you to Mint Mobile to kind of just basically reset your minutes. Now, it did happen to me one time. It was very frustrating, but now that is gone, I do have an app that tracks my minutes, and it's basically unlimited everything the way it should be. And everything is just basically awesome. Now, the reason why I think that they did do the 2.5 hour, I believe it was a cost saving measure or a capacity saving measure to say, hey, maybe the person is on, like, forgot the phone was on, somebody left it on hold or something like that. I don't know. But the truth is that those circumstances probably rarely ever happen, right? I do believe that they stopped that. I haven't dealt with it for so long. I actually have 2 lines with Mint Mobile, and none of them experienced a 2.5 hour limit. Another improvement that they did make that was different when I first came on was that for the unlimited plan, you do have 35 gigabytes of high-speed data. After that, you're just basically out. And if you wanted to try to get additional data, you are unable to do that. They do allow you now to purchase additional data, high-speed data at that. So what basically happens is you're allotted a certain amount of data based on the plan that you've chosen. And once that data runs out, you're slowed down to 3G speeds. Now that 3G speeds is really slow, but you have the ability to purchase an additional gigabyte for about $10, or you can buy 3 additional gigabytes for $20. Now with the unlimited plan, you did not have that option at all. So if you ran out a couple of days before time, then yeah, you'd be stuck and you would have to deal with 3G speeds. Now they actually allow you to buy additional data if you happen to have a super heavy month of data. You can now buy additional data, another gigabyte of speed, or an additional 3 gigabytes of speed. Like a couple days ago, I did run out of data, right? I did run out of high-speed data, and I did deal with the 3G speeds for a couple of days, and it was an adjustment. I definitely noticed a precipitous drop off within performance, and it was amazingly different. Like, wow. I could definitely tell the difference because the speeds are so much faster. Now they've been dropped down. So yeah, I was able to tell. It is a good option that they allow you to buy like an additional amount of data. Another thing is that they do allow you to change the tier of plan to upgrade it. If you realize that, hey, I bought the 8 gigabyte or 12 gigabyte plan, I need more. They do allow you to actually change the amount of like data that you get, and you can get a prorated amount that you have to pay based on how far you are within your cycle of months that you've purchased. And you can just say, hey, I'll pay the extra $35 to go unlimited for the remainder of 3 months or 12 months or whatever. So it's pretty cool that they allow you to do that. Mint Mobile will actually send you out kind of like email alerts letting you know, hey, this is how much that you're actually using. You're not using the full unlimited, and they'll suggest that you actually downgrade on your next renewal. So it's pretty cool cost-saving measure that they're looking out for you. I actually don't think that Mint Mobile likes the unlimited plan. So lastly, let's talk about some of the improvements that I see or opportunities that they still need to make. So the app and the website actually go down a little too frequently for my liking. Now, the reason why this is an issue is because, well, that's how you kind of check how much data you have. You can technically use your phone to check how much data that you've used, subtract it from how much you're allotted, and basically do the calculation there. But there's also additional information like making payments, changing your plan, and the app does go down. Well, I've noticed it goes down like once a week for a couple hours. It's not doing an upgrade, it's just kind of down. Another opportunity or an advancement that I would like them to make is more of the unlimited data to be hotspotted. If you don't want to allow the full 35 gigabytes of data, which I think you should allow us to use the total amount of data that we purchase for how we want to use it, whether we hotspot it to another device or whatever. But I do feel like we should at least have like 10 gigabytes of data to be hotspot instead of 5. 5 is sort of restrictive, especially since all the other plans up to 15 gigabytes per month are able to use their entirety amount of their hotspot or their data to hotspot to other devices. And other than that, I actually think the service is pretty great. I really don't have any other issues with the service. Like the speeds are great, the coverage is great, the prices are awesome. The referral program is a great incentive, but I do think that the service overall is amazing. It has allowed me to basically choose what I want to pay instead of paying for $100 or $85 for an unlimited plan, etc., with taxes and things like that. So yeah, guys. So once again, the link for Mint Mobile is in the description. If you guys do want to click on that, once again, it will take you right to Mint Mobile. Show you the best prices. Until next time, guys. I'm Everton, and I do videos Everton's way. Peace.